Yo guys, and welcome back towards this new video here on the channel. And on today's video I will be going over Bitcoin, and I will be talking about a new trade I opened. I opened a $500,000 Bitcoin long position, and on today's video I will be going over that, and as well I will be going over the scenarios what I do think Bitcoin will be trading towards, because Bitcoin is at least going to trade around 100k within 2 years from now on, because yeah, that is a very interesting chart I found out about. So with that and much more will be getting discussed on today's video. If you do enjoy it, smash up the like button and let's jump right away in towards the content. So first of all, let's talk about this chart, why I do think Bitcoin is going to trade above the $100,000. So what you can see here on this chart is we're basically looking at the logarithmic growth curves on Bitcoin, and where Bitcoin usually tends to top out on its bullish runs towards the upside. What we can see is, of course, that Bitcoin in 2011 got stopped out on the highs, and you can see these the vertical lines here, what are basically indicating the Bitcoin halvings. You can clearly see every single time a Bitcoin halving comes, usually the bottom of the market is in, and afterwards follows a bull market. As well, what is very interesting to see, if we're all going to compare these halvings towards the fourth halving we are about to get in 2 years from now on, guys. Within 2 years from now on, we're going to get another cycle halving, and if we're looking at the bottom for that cycle halving, it is going to trade at least on $93,000 for Bitcoin. So I'm currently expecting that we're at least going to see a minimal growth of an approximately 140% from now on, within 686 days from now on, and of course most likely that will be the bottom of the market at that point, and Bitcoin can even move further on from that point onwards. So this is of course suggesting there is a lot of bullishness to come in the future, and of course why I'm showing you guys this chart is basically because if you don't know exactly what Bitcoin is going to do right now, and of course it's a little bit of a harder time right now because the market dipped down from 48 to 40k here, but please start to zoom out, invest for the long term, buy some spot Bitcoin, and don't look back at it, because holding Bitcoin for the long run is definitely the way to go here. And I will be accumulating more and more because I do believe in the future of Bitcoin, and I do believe we're always going to see that exponential price growth as inflations are rising and as the dollar is losing its strength here. Then as well, looking at a chart, what is a little bit more about the time frame we're right now trading on, the weekly time frame, you can see a very interesting retest right now occurring on this market. You can see this downward sloping trend line getting formed here, what previously around provided very strong resistance, as well here in the August 2021 run-up provided very strong resistance, and while we broke above it, it has been providing ever so slightly some support here on this November/December correction in the end of last year. You can see also while we did below it that we got rejected by it again, and right now since we are trading above it, we are once again retesting it as support. I personally think that this is an extremely likely level to see a bounce from off on the market, and if we do bounce from off this market, from off this region, I personally think we can start really this run up back towards the upside, since yeah, we broke the downtrend and we're currently flipping in towards this bullish territorium, because after you're seeing an downward sloping trend line getting retested as support after the breakout, is basically suggesting a bullish confirmation and a bullish continuation. As well, a thing that you should be looking at is right now the MACD on the weekly time frame. Note how we are almost going to see a bearish crossover on the MACD once again on the weekly time frame. That will only not occur if this weekly candle is going to wick a little bit back towards the upside, and of course curve this MACD once again towards higher regions. So it's going to be pretty important about where this weekly candle is going to close for Bitcoin. But personally, yeah, I mean, we have still a lot of time on this weekly candle, still another 4 days and 17 hours to go. So near the end of this week, I will be once again talk about this weekly MACD potential bearish cross. So yeah, please subscribe to the channel to stay up to date about that one. Then as well, talking about the daily time frame for Bitcoin, we can currently see we are forming a beautiful upward sloping support line, and I've been already saying it several times before on my Twitter page. As long as Bitcoin is going to hold on towards this upward sloping support line, I will be still stay bullish on Bitcoin. Of course, as soon as we do dip below this range, and if we do fall below this support range, I am going to start to be a little bit more bearish, because that's basically suggesting that Bitcoin is breaking the higher low trend, because yeah, you can clearly see Bitcoin has been still forming these higher lows on the market together with these higher highs on the market. So technically speaking, we are still in an uptrend for Bitcoin, and technically speaking, this is still not a bad region for accumulating your Bitcoins at. As well, looking at the 4-hourly time frame, yesterday, of course, on my Twitter page, I gave you a call that we were seeing this bullish divergence. The price action on the 4-hourly time frame formed a lower low, and like you can see here, the RSI has been increasing with a higher low. So we were basically forming a bullish divergence on this market, and like you can see right now on the left side of the screen here, a bullish divergence does occur once the price action is forming lower lows and the RSI forming a higher low. So this is definitely a very interesting scenario, and usually these bullish divergence, once they occur on the market, tend to be signifying a market reversal. As well, note how you can see that we still formed a higher low in terms of the wicks here, what could be suggesting a W pattern and what could be suggesting a W reversal back towards the upside for Bitcoin. As well, on the 4-hourly time frame, we have been seeing a bullish crossover on the MACD about to occur, I should say. I mean, we are seeing it right now. We are having a bullish crossover on the MACD. What is also suggesting that we are starting a little bit more of an uptrend right here, and that we could be seeing some more potential higher side getting formed from this region. As well, important to look at is, of course, this downward sloping trend line here on the RSI. Of course, as soon as we do break above this downward sloping RSI trend line, I personally think Bitcoin can really start its trend and really can start to be looking at back towards these higher regions. So we are about to be approaching this downward sloping RSI trend line on the 4-hourly time frame. And of course, if we do break above it or whatsoever, make sure to subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitter to stay up to date if we are going to get somewhere of a breakout of that region. Then as well, talking about that 1-hour time frame, we're basically seeing that similar structure occur. On the 1-hour time frame as well, we formed this bullish divergence on the market after we were seeing, of course, a lower low getting formed here on the price action. We were seeing a significant higher low on the RSI getting created. So the 1-hour and 4-hourly time frame did yesterday form that bullish divergence, resulting in a movement towards the upside for Bitcoin. Right now, what we can see is maybe some kind of a downward sloping trend line getting formed from the higher side. After seeing this downward sloping resistance getting formed from the higher side, we really want to be seeing a breakthrough above that 40.2k region on the 1-hour time frame in order to really see the movement further on getting created towards the upside. So yeah, it is a pretty interesting structure. Of course, if the market is going to come down and still is going to be forming a higher low, we could be potentially look at an head and shoulders pattern. What wouldn't all be too bad for Bitcoin, but personally, I would love to see the market moving up from here on towards that higher region. Then really talking about the funding rates, and after this I will be talking about my trade, what is of course a beautiful trade I'm currently accumulating. We can currently still see across the market, if I'm going to scroll down, we can see that there is a massive amount of shorts still dominating this market. We are seeing funding rates being negative across the border, really indicating there's a lot of shorting power across this market, and really indicating that the risk is most certainly increasing if you are opening a long short position over here as well in the market. So shorts are really taking over right now, and I definitely want to be warning you guys for this, because yeah, this is really suggesting that it is not really the best time to look at such kind of a shorting position. Then talking about my trade, you can currently see I've been in a minor loss here, but I only have been accumulating a trade here with a 4.6x leverage. I accumulated a trade with 4.6x leverage with an approximately $112,000 US, what is of course an extremely low leverage trade here, but since I'm using a little bit more money, it can still make me a ton of money once the market does decide to reverse here. Of course, if the market is going to come further down here, I will be adding another approximately $40,000 US if the market comes down towards $38,000 US. And of course, if the market is going to come down so significantly, I will be, of course, add more towards my trading position, what will be basically average down my entry price for this trade. So right now, I'm not necessarily care about where this market is trading on, because what my strategy is here, if I'm quickly going to zoom out towards the 4-hourly time frame, my strategy is here to accumulate on this region where we are still forming that higher low, right? So my strategy is here to accumulate on this range, because I personally think the upside potential is very high from up to this point. If we're going to look at the daily time frame, you can clearly see that we are bouncing back towards those higher regions, right? We are forming that higher low structure, and I want to be trading that structure towards the upside. Of course, if the market decides to come down here, I want to be taking the next low in the market. So you can see the low is getting formed. I want to be entering the next low in the market to potentially form the double bottom to look further up towards the upside. But nevertheless, I am pretty bullish on Bitcoin on this region in general, and I personally think a reversal is pretty close here. So I will be still accumulate a swing trade position. So the swing trade position is completely different than another kind of position on Bitcoin where you're using 10 or 20x leverage, but this is a very low leverage trade, so I can drive this trade all the way down towards, let's say, $30,000 or $28,000 US and still not get liquidated, because I will be using more money to average in towards this trading position, since the lower the market goes here, the more money I will be adding. So it will basically be in some kind of an accumulation, sort of accumulation of Bitcoin, because you could be approaching this as accumulating Bitcoin, because I'm going to accumulate bigger positions the more the market is going to come down here. So the more the market comes down here, the more Bitcoin I will be buying on that 4.66 leverage. And yeah, I definitely am very excited about how this trading position is going to look like. Currently we got 520,000 US dollars in quantity, and we'll be probably even make it bigger as time continues for Bitcoin. So yeah, I am pretty excited about this trade right here, and I'm definitely planning to ride it towards the upside. If you are interested in trading as well, first of all, make sure to join my Telegram, where I do give my signals about all my trades here in real time. And as well, don't forget to, of course, check out Bybit here in the link in the description, where you can get a 4,800 US dollars deposit bonus if you do use my link in the description. If you're not going to use any link in the description, you will be only getting a 400 US dollars deposit bonus. So if you're really interested in trading on Bybit, make sure to check out my link here to get that additional bonus. Then as well, talking about altcoins in general, guys. I mean, this has been a very interesting chart. This is basically a chart from the total crypto market cap without Bitcoin, so excluding Bitcoin. What you can see on this chart is that we are basically have been forming this symmetrical triangle we have been breaking out a few days ago here, and right now we are coming down to not only retest this previous resistance line towards the downside, but also this previous horizontal support range. Like you can see here, previous resistance, support, support, resistance, support. So this has been a very interesting level where Bitcoin has been bouncing from off, and right now we are retesting this range as support. I personally think that this is a very strong level for Bitcoin to see a major bounce from off, and of course, together with this downward sloping trend line here on, we can start to see a massive bounce towards the upside getting generated. This is so far been a very interesting range for accumulating altcoins, and I personally think that accumulating altcoins around this region is not all too bad here. Together with the negative funding rates we are seeing on altcoins, it is basically suggesting that there's a huge possibility towards the upside for the altcoin market. Right here. At the same time, looking at Ethereum, we can see that Ethereum has been coming down and already started to be bouncing strong here. Of course, what we can see is that Ethereum has been bouncing stronger than Bitcoin. Of course, we do know out of anticipation that Ethereum is going to come up with the merge a couple weeks, couple months away from now on, approximately 10 to 12 weeks from now on. The merge is going to get released, and that is going to result in a lot of positive price action, and of course in a new network for Ethereum, the proof of stake network. So this is of course really getting priced in right now here. There's a lot of accumulation going around here, and probably is going to result in Ethereum going parabolic towards the upside, because yeah, it's a pretty huge deal here for Ethereum. And you can start to, stake your Ethereum, and it's going to be very interesting because it's going to be very efficient for the system. So I actually am expecting a bounce from of this region, from of this green boxes that it provided previous resistance and support. Of course, if we are looking at the Ethereum compared to Bitcoin comparison, you can clearly see we've been bouncing from our horizontal support range, and we're starting to curve back up here, and we're almost trading at, of course, an approximately 100-day high, if I said correctly, an 80-day high. We're about to touch that. So yeah, Ethereum is showing a lot of strength against Bitcoin. It flipped this previous region of resistance into support right here. What is, of course, exactly what you do want to be seeing. And this is definitely going to be moving up further on. Like my prediction has been already going around here, since I predicted that Ethereum, while it was breaking through this downtrend, of course, we were going to be moving up exponentially. So predictions so far playing out perfectly. And I personally think it is going to be just continue further on as time comes closer towards that merge update. So yes, guys, this was already it for today's update video. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It will be absolutely lovely to see if you can subscribe to the channel as well. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. We've been growing massively on Twitter and sharing our thoughts on Twitter over there as well. So it will be absolutely lovely if you're going to follow us over there. But nevertheless, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Like and subscribe to the channel. Goodbye.